I want to show you the one thing that makes an influencer great. And to do so, I'm going to select the best YouTube channels from these 6 categories and show you exactly how each of these influencers' channels revolve around this single concept. And no, Mr. Beast is not one of them, but for a very good reason. But first, let me explain to you why this is even important to talk about. You see, things are changing, and they have been for a while. In 2009, the University of California conducted an analysis looking at the values communicated to 9 to 12-year-olds in popular TV shows from the decade of 1967 all the way to 2007. In 67, 77, 87, and 97, the values didn't change very much. But in 2007, the values were flipped. Now, fame and achievement were portrayed to be the most important value, while the previous number 1, the feeling of belonging to a community, fell to 11th. Feeling like they were onto something, the university backed it up with another study in 2011. This time asking students aged from 10 and 11 which of these values is most important to you. And the most common answer with 40% of the votes was becoming famous. This is compared to 4% in previous literature. I don't think any of this should come as a surprise. Modern media often positions people with wealth and status as pursuable goals. A materialistic view of the world only aims to reinforce these superficial desires. This was highlighted in 2019 when affiliate marketing company Angwin asked 2,362 UK parents of children aged 11 to 16 what their child aspires to be. And the top 3 were doctor with 18%, social media influencer with 17%, and YouTuber with 14%. Meaning that 31% of UK children want to be an influencer of some sort. I wasn't able to find the original study from Angwin, and there have been more recent studies from credible publications without any mention of influencer or YouTube, so take that as you will. But even if the Angwin study is not credible, I'm still concerned, because social media only seems to be becoming more integrated into our lives.
TikTok was the most downloaded app of 2019. More than any other app in the country. More teenagers are on TikTok now than use Facebook.
So I think young people often look to these carefully curated lifestyles and think anything less than this is a failure. And so that becomes a goal, without any thought to what a good influencer should be. And the result of that is entire generations of money-hungry and attention-seeking humans who'll go to any length for views and likes that the rest of us look at and go, yeah, but I've lost all faith in humanity. But then we can go one step further and add expert level marketing to the mix. Now we enter the category of influencers that are manipulative and deceitful, whose only objective is to drain as much profits as possible from you.
The experts are saying what you're doing is dangerous. Is that a message you should be taking on board?
People will always judge what they don't understand. Medical science isn't the only way to cure something or treat something.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yeah.
You look familiar.
Yeah?
You look like you stole my daughter's money.
Are you kidding me?
I ain't kidding you.
Did you know that often these influencers who were posting these pictures had no nutritional expertise whatsoever?
I didn't really care because to me they had the followers and they had the likes. So I just followed them based on that.
When I think of influencers, I do not think of anyone in a leadership position, like dictators, politicians, CEOs, project managers, teachers, parents, and friends, or even you, because you have an influence on the people around you. I think of these egotistical, narcissistic, greedy, petty humans who only gained a following on social media at the expense of anyone who gave them attention. I acknowledge that these people are always going to exist. That doesn't mean that I value them or respect them. So to me, they're not influencers. They have no influence on me. And that's the beautiful thing about the world we live in. These people only became successful because of the people who gave them attention. And as soon as we stop giving them attention is the moment that they become insignificant. This is why this is so important to talk about, because we need a framework to distinguish the good from the bad. I will always provide suitable role models for anyone else who aspires to be a great influencer. The one concept that makes an influencer great is egotistic altruism. Hear me out. Being an influencer is a pretty selfish gig. You actually pursue clicks, views, and attention.
How do some humans survive in conditions most of us wouldn't last more than a few hours in? from the
And those who do a particularly good job of it find wealth, fame, and recognition at a global scale. That's the ego part. Now what about the altruism part? Imagine we have a pie that is shared amongst all of us. A bad influencer decides that they want more pie, and so they steal an extra slice, meaning the rest of us get less pie. For a bad influencer to gain, someone else has to lose. A great influencer, on the other hand, tells stories and shares ideas that inspires others to contribute to the pie, effectively making the pie bigger so everyone gets a bigger slice, including themselves. Don't believe me? That's fair. At first it can be very counterintuitive that there's a selfish argument for making the world a better place.
We had found a way to create a bigger pie. But not only a bigger pie, but a pie that was growing bigger each year. More people could have more at the same time.
And in the realm of creators, those who are competing for your attention, it can become easy to forget that these creators have a reason for existing. So, let's find out who the best influencers are. Okay, first up we have Veritasium and Kulsiska. Philip Detmer created Kulsiska because he saw something lacking in the scientific community. Communicators. Communicators who are able to make science both beautiful and interesting. His goal for every video is to spark curiosity, not only to educate his audience, but also to inspire them to learn more. Derek, on the other hand, had a burning desire to be a filmmaker.
I'm waiting for you to take a picture.
Of what?
Of me.
But chose a career in physics and engineering because it was the more safe and more practical option. Eventually though, he had the idea to combine the two and make videos that actually teach people about science, tackle misconceptions, and always strives for uncovering better truths. Both of these channels are in a great position to inspire an entire generation of students to pursue careers in engineering and science, increasing the likelihood of life-altering innovation. But more immediately, they teach people scientific principles that they can use to better understand the world around them and therefore make better decisions. The pie gets bigger. Which brings us to the next category, fitness. There are so many fitness influencers out there trying to make bank, but these two have risen to the top, Jeff Nippard and Sean Nalawani. Both of these guys have been making videos for years, trying to help men and women build muscle, lose fat, and live healthier lives. But what separates the two is that Jeff has a particular interest in biochemistry, so his videos often go down deeper into the molecular science of building muscle and losing fat, while Sean has made a name for himself by calling out bullshit information and simplifying advice to effective steps.
Now, nutrition is a subject that can be overanalyzed and overcomplicated to death,
ultimately relieving some of the anxiety and misinformation that many beginners experience as they are getting started.
And all it does is confuse people, create more dietary anxiety, and make the process that much more difficult.
Consider if Jeff and Sean were able to help these men and women achieve their fitness goals. People would not go out and buy useless supplements, saving them hundreds of dollars. They will feel better about themselves, which would increase their overall productivity. Additionally, if more people were healthier, the medical costs associated with heart disease, obesity, and other ailments would decrease, which has all sorts of positive societal impacts. The pie gets bigger. Over in the world of tech, we have the king himself, Marcus Brownlee. Marcus has been making videos since 2008.
Welcome to my first video. Bought a new laptop.
What started off as humble reviews on his laptop webcam is now regarded to be the most influential force in the tech community. All of us realize the integral role technology plays in all of our lives. Marcus is able to provide us a window to these technologies that we wouldn't have access to otherwise. This allows us to gain a better understanding of technology, and hopefully can help us become more mindful of the way we use and purchase tech. The pie gets bigger. Next up, best in the travel and lifestyle category, we have Nicholas Grissel, Yes Fury, and How to Beast. Nicholas is now regarded to be one of the best on the platform. He gained worldwide traction when his dopamine detox video went viral, collecting over 6 million views, and was consistently backed up by his high quality content. Nicholas has a simple reason to make videos.
Overall, my goal is just to really help people get rid of the distractions and expectations of a modern world and really just focus on building a life where they are passionate about what they do and they are fulfilled by their work.
Yes Fury, like Nicholas, also have a simple message. Seek discomfort, love over fear. They have created a community beyond borders and beyond stereotypes. We have a relentless desire to do good in the world. Their adventures, time and time again, have shown us the goodness that resides in humanity.
We can't even communicate with each other.
Right.
I feel like we've had a few of those experiences here as well, where you're like just connecting human to human, and that's it.
Then we have David the Beast. David spent much of his earlier life as a loser. He had zero self-confidence and lived in fear, until he confronted the pain he was feeling and decided to become a better man. And that's exactly what he's trying to do with his YouTube channel, help men overcome their fears and live lives they are proud of. Just imagine what an army of inspired, resilient problem solvers can achieve. The impact of helping people become better humans is immeasurable. The pie gets bigger. What about Johnny Harris and James Janney, the best in the documentary space? Johnny Harris makes videos ranging from politics to McDonald's conspiracies. Johnny's purpose is a little bit more hard to put my finger on, but if I were to take a guess, it would be he wants to educate people on international affairs with an appreciation of geography through effective storytelling. And if he's able to inspire others to do the same, well, that's a bonus. So, James Janney, the new kid on the block. After being rejected from acting school twice, James noticed a problem on YouTube. There were so many disingenuous personal finance influencers, and James wanted to be that nuanced voice that was so desperately lacking, which he was rewarded for doing so. He grew his channel to over 1 million subscribers in just 18 videos, something pretty much unheard of. Finally, that brings me to the chief of the entertainment sector on YouTube, Ryan Trahan. Ryan is a goof, he's awkward, but he's also a smart dude. He's showing us that you can just be you to be accepted.
Steve seems to be making a funny joke because I'm literally just wearing a white t-shirt and black gym shorts.
And in this podcast, he explicitly explains what his goal is when he makes his videos.
It's like, what is like our purpose? Like, what are we gonna, like, why are we doing this year? Where I wanna create out of love and like gift my audience something. With this metaverse video, we were like, what is the metaverse? Like, why would we make this video? And for us, the metaverse is pretty scary. It's like...
But it wasn't always like this.
Because I feel like in the past, I was trying to almost exploit my audience to receive views, receive money, receive attention, validation.
And that's what separates a good influencer from a bad influencer. A good influencer has a strong reason to exist. And that reason is to always make the pie bigger. They are trying to give you the tools and the knowledge that you can make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. And they all do this through having an authentic voice. These guys do not try to be something that they're not. They speak uniquely from their own experiences. They are honest with their opinions and they stand for something greater than themselves. The channel is less about them and more about the story they're trying to share. They are able to forge a connection with their viewers that seem to transcend the limitations of a screen. And they are humble when they get things wrong. Purpose, connection, humility. If you can combine purpose, connection, and humility, what do you get? Trust. Speaking of trust, I have a confession. I lied. These aren't the best influencers on YouTube because that's such a subjective thing. These are just the influencers that I like the most. These are the people who had an impact on me. Not in any profound sense, but more in little nudges in the way I think and see the world. And that's why Mr. Beast is not included. Because I don't watch his videos. It's got nothing to do with philanthropy. Jimmy is making a difference and I respect him for that. I just like to learn from the videos I watch. And my focus is always on problems and solution to the problems. But you do you. The greatest resource any of us have is time and knowledge. And who you decide to trust with your time and information is crucial. And to decide who you trust and who to not, which is asking this question: would I be friends with this person based off what I see in their videos? And if the answer is anything but yes, I stay away. But more specifically, I look at, are they asking anything of me? The exception if they have a store or a Patreon where they're providing value in addition to their videos, but only if the value is made explicitly clear. Are they giving with the expectation of receiving? Are they making any really large promises like get rich quick or lose fat fast? Are there any story inconsistencies between videos? If so, they're probably lying. Are their arguments outrageous and exciting? If so, they're probably wrong, unless a lot of credible evidence is provided. Will the message that they're trying to share help people? And how will it harm people if it's incorrect? If a channel passes these conditions, then chances are they have good intentions. So we now know what makes an influencer great, and now we know how to find them. But if you aspire to take a leadership position online, there are still two things that I feel the need to reiterate. The first is to have a message. You need to have a reason to exist. Otherwise, you're probably in it for the wrong reasons. The second is to never take from the pie. Always try to make the pie bigger and reap the rewards later. This video has been about showing that there are people trying to make a difference even in a selfish and superficial market. And that gives me hope. Even in a world that sometimes seems to be moving in the wrong direction, these people give me hope. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. If you'd like to keep this optimistic ball rolling, I made this video on happiness. In it, I argue that happiness shouldn't be treated as an achievable goal. Of course, backed by data. But for now, we're done. Thanks for watching again. Bye.